everyone, so today I'm doing a look with some new eyeshadows. I got these over the holiday season. I bought these the day after Christmas because they were on sale. I have never used anything by this brand before, and I'm talking about the Flower Beauty brand, and this is available at Walmart. It is created by Drew Barrymore, which is a well-known actress, and so I was intrigued because not only was the sale really good, it was 50% off the day after Christmas, and I just happened to be at Walmart needing some stuff for something that I was cooking, and I figured let me check out the sales. So I found the set that has the eyeshadows. This is the Shadow Play Eyeshadow. Shadow Play Eyeshadow. There's 8 eyeshadows in this little sort of compact here, and that's what it looks like, and it says flower right in the front. It has a magnetic closure, which is nice, and then it has all of these eyeshadows. So this is what I used to do my entire eye look today. I actually really like this. I think that the quality is good, especially being that it is from the drugstore. And I'll do some swatches of just some random colors for you here. So there are some of the colors, and here's that sort of blue. It's not super intense, although it does look like that on camera. In person, it's actually a lot softer and more of a wearable color. And I'm just gonna throw these on the back of my hand so that you guys can kind of see against my skin tone exactly how these come up. There was 2 different sort of sets that came out for the holiday season, and this one was just the one that I felt like was more my style. I don't remember what the other ones were. I should have gotten it looking back because I did see these, the same ones, like the first week of January for even more of a steep discount than 50% off. So it was a good sale. I thought this was a good price. I think this was regularly $19.99 for this. The eyeshadow brush, which is also part of the set, looks like this. I do think that the shadow brush is soft. I think that it's a little too big when you're applying eyeshadow onto the lid. I think it's too big, and I'll show you that in the tutorial part. I do feel like this is good for buffing on a color just all over the lid from the lash line up to the brow. I think it's fine, but if you want it more precise for darker colors like we're doing today, I don't think this is going to be the best tool for that. If you want to use this to kind of buff out some darker crease colors that maybe you got a little too heavy-handed, sure, this would work for that. But as far as product placement, I don't think this is really ideal. I would have liked to have seen it just a little bit smaller in size, overall size, and then not quite as, hopefully you guys can see, hopefully the camera can capture how thick that brush is. You can see thickness. If you compare that to another eyeshadow brush, like a flat shader brush, maybe hopefully you guys can see, maybe not, the difference there between the 2 brushes. I know that doesn't really show you really well, but you probably are catching on what I'm trying to say. But yes, the difference is quite different. Even using like one of these brushes from Sigma that's sort of like the 217 by MAC, again, it's a lot softer, so it gives you more control. This doesn't really do that. The other thing that came in this set was the Extreme Measures Lengthening Mascara, which I used in the video because I wanted to keep as much Flower Beauty products on my face as possible throughout the video. And I do think this is okay. It's not the best mascara at the drugstore. I think that my Maybelline The Rocket Volume works even better. I do think that this can give you some natural definition if that's what you're looking for. This might be it. Has a bit of an hourglass wand that's sort of like cinched in the center, and it is very flexible, very bendable, if you will. So if you like a stiffer brush, which for me, I want something just a bit stiffer, not like super stiff that's like hard, but a little bit stiffer so that I can really wiggle that at the base of my lashes and really comb through and extend my lashes and give them the maximum length I can give, then this for me just wasn't that quite of a mascara for me. I think I would use this more of like an everyday. If I'm going to the grocery store, if I decide to go, I don't know, for a walk or just something low-key where I don't really want a whole fussy look, then this will be something I would reach for. But if I really want that drama and that intensity, that darkness, I don't think that that's going to be it, especially if you have short lashes. If you have really thick, long lashes, you might be satisfied with a majority of mascaras. But for me, I don't think this would be something I would repurchase, nor would I recommend this because, like I said, there's other options out there. I am using two products on my lips. One of them is the Flower Beauty. I bought a set of these little Chubby lip pencils. They come looking like that. I have one in my purse, which is a peach shade. These are pretty good as far as color-wise. They're very, very pigmented, and I will do some swatches of the two that I have. I don't know what the name of the other one is called, but it's a really nice peach shade that's good for every day. But these are the colors. Very, very pigmented. I do like how these are very conveniently packaged this way so that you can put them in a makeup bag and take them on travel. But I do think the formula is super, super drying, and that's why I had to use a more hydrating kind of lip butter over it, because they're very, very dry, and if you have dryness, they will settle in fine lines and wrinkles, creases, any sort of dry, sort of flaky patches that you have. These will cling to that. So if you want this sort of color impact from the drugstore, which I think is really good for being really inexpensive per one that you purchase, I do think that you're getting quite a bit of a substantial color pigmentation compared to other things from the drugstore. But you would have to pair them up with some lip balm, a chapstick, lip gloss, a coordinating lip gloss that matches that same color. But you can definitely manipulate that formula to suit your needs. I just don't prefer them on their own because I'm not into the matte lips. So that is basically my review of these products. This is what I've tried so far. If you have any sort of recommendations for Flower Beauty products that I have not tried so far, let me know what they are, because I do want to see what else is good from the brand. And I also want to share with you the look that I'm wearing today. This is all Flower Beauty around the eyes, except for the liner that I use to tight line, and everything else eye-wise is Flower Beauty. So if you want to see how to get this super easy, really just easy going, I guess is the best way to describe it, eye look, then keep watching, because it's super simple and it involves a pop of color for every day. Perfect for the upcoming spring season that's right around the corner. So if you want to see this look, stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Alright, so part of this set is the eyeshadow brush. I do think it's rather large for my eye shape in order to apply product to the lid, so therefore I'm only going to be using this brush to apply the really light sort of ivory color. It's a matte shade. I'm going to use that with that brush, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid just to create a base before we start applying other shadows. Okay, so once we have that done, I'm going to switch to a smaller, more manageable brush, and it's one that looks like this. It's basically really flat, as you can tell, and this is the Red Sable brush from Morphe Brushes. And the first thing that I'm going to do is apply my lid shade. So I'm going to go in with this color here, which is a kind of dark brown, but it's not super dark. It has a touch of gray in there, and then there's a bit of a sort of light copper sparkle to it, so it's quite unique. I haven't seen anything from the drugstore quite like this before. So I'm just going to take some of that, and I'm going to apply this to my lid. And I'm tapping off the excess on a tissue just so that I don't have fallout, because I already have done my concealer. So I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. And it does take a little bit of building because it's not super, super intense and dark with one swipe. So it does take some building. And then I'm going to switch to a Sigma E25 blending brush. It looks like this. Yes, mine is dirty. I use it all the time, but this brush is going to help diffuse those lines. You can see they're starting to be a lot softer. With that same brush, I'm going to wipe it off so that I don't get too much of that dark color. And I'm going to go in with the shade that's just below that, and this is a matte gray color. Very cool tone. It's quite nice actually. It's like a slate gray, and I'm going to apply that into the crease. Most of it on the outer part of the eye, and then blending it towards the inner part. Then before I move any further, I'm going to take that same shadow brush with a little bit more of that matte color that we've applied all over the lid. And I'm going to mix it with a bit of this lighter color. This is more of like a shimmery ivory color. It is quite pigmented, so I'm just going to use a little bit and just kind of tap that right underneath the brow. And although this brush is rather large, I'm only just using like the side of it to really apply my brow highlight. Then I'm going to go back in and continue blending this out. I do want to bring in just a bit of warmth to the look, not something that's going to be really extreme, but a little extra something. I'm going to bring in the Milani Bella Eyes eyeshadow. This is in the color Bella Cappuccino, and it's a satin finish, and as you can see, it's very, very light. It's just a couple shades darker than my skin tone, but I feel like this is going to add a little bit of warmth to the look without being too warm, like orangey or like coppery, anything like that. Just a little bit more of like a neutrally kind of shade. So I'm going to take that with a Zoeva 228 Luxe crease brush. Looks like this. I'm taking a little bit of that, tapping off the excess, and just coming in here and sweeping that back and forth just to kind of soften this a bit and blend it up towards the brow. By that point, there shouldn't be much on your brush. If you feel like you have some, wipe it off on the tissue and then proceed with blending. And I'm going to take that same shadow but with a more precise brush, and I'm going to use, actually that one's dirty. Let's see, what can I use? I'm going to use one from Sigma. It looks like this. I don't know what the new numbering is, but it's the small, tiny little brush from Sigma. Mine is a little bit on the dirty side, but we'll just have to make it work. I'll take some of that and apply that to my lower lashes. Alright, so now that I have that applied, I'm going to go ahead and touch up my lid again with that same dark color that we applied earlier. Same shadow brush. And then with that same brush that I used earlier, I'm just going to kind of go around it just to soften it a bit and make sure everything is pretty well blended. Now I have done a similar look like this before, and I've stopped right here and no liner or anything dark on the lower lash line. So you can stop here, put on some mascara, and it's fine. I don't feel like that color is so dark that you need to have the liner. So if you wanted to, you can. And so what I'm going to do is I'm taking a Morphe MB32 brush. It looks like this. It's an angled liner brush with this darker shade in here, and it's got a bit of a sparkle. Hopefully you guys can notice that sparkle there. I'm going to use that really close to the lashes, although it's kind of sparkly. It doesn't seem like it's too glittery. So I'm just going to kind of stamp that right at the base of my lashes just to create a bit of darkness. And if you don't want to do this step with something kind of sparkly, then you can just smudge a bit of black liner or brown liner, whatever you want. Alright, so what I want to do is bring in a little bit more color, and for that I'm going to take this bright green here. It's in the palette. It's like a spring green color. Really, really pretty. And I'm going to take that same MB32 angled liner brush from Morphe, and I'm going to smudge some of this really close to the lashes just to add a little bit of a pop of color. And it's not that noticeable. If you have Gesture by Makeup Geek, the foiled shadow, it's very similar to that, but it's definitely a lot more pigmented than these ones are. And I'm going to bring some of that into the inner corner as well as my inner corner highlight. I think it's really cool to do something like that. And I'm going to switch to the Luxe Pencil Brush by Zoeva number 230 with that green, just to kind of hit this inner part of my eye. The most product right there, and then kind of softly blend it out. Then all we have to do is tight line. I'm going to use a black pencil liner by Urban Decay. And then I'm also going to use the mascara that came with this. This is the Flower Extreme Measures Lengthening Mascara, and then I'm going to apply the Lash Discovery on my lower lash line. And of course, finish the other eye. so now that the eyes are done, I just need to do my cheeks and my lips. So for cheeks, I wanted a kind of youthful, sort of natural glow. So I'm going to use my Instain Blush by The Balm in Toile, which looks like this. I've talked about these so many times. I absolutely love it. I'm using a dual fiber brush from Sigma. Again, I have the old numbering from years back, but it's a dual fiber that looks like this, and I actually used this to apply this blush a few days ago, and I applied it to the apples of the cheek, and it's just so beautiful. So I'll smile and just apply it to the apples of the cheek and quickly work with this product because these are stains and they do last a long, long time. Alright, and then to soften that a bit, I'm going to just go over that with a Real Techniques multitask brush. This is the one that I used for my setting powder. I'm just going to kind of softly diffuse this out before it stains really badly. But I love that, love the glow that it gives. Then for highlight, I'm using a shadow by Pacifica. This is the Natural Beauty. It's called Ethereal. And I got this in my Ipsy bag, and it's just a light, sort of shimmery, very shimmery color. Using that on a Morphe MB36 brush, tapping it into the product, then tapping some of that off, and then just kind of hitting the tops of my cheekbone to add a bit of a glow because I'm completely matte today. I put a lot of powder on, and then I'm going to go down my nose and Cupid's bow to add a bit of a soft glow, and then whatever's left on the top, highest point of my brow. Okay, for lips, I'm mixing two different products. The first one I'm applying is the Lip Suede Velvet Lip Chubby in the shade Barrymore, also by Flower Beauty. And I'll do a little swatch for you here, and that's what it looks like. Very creamy, very, very pigmented, and so I'm just going to apply a little bit of this. So that's what just that chubby lipstick thing looks like. Again, it's called Barrymore. These are very drying on the lips. I have to wear them with something else. So what I'm going to do is kind of just tap off some of this onto a tissue, just so that I can get that base color. And then I'm going to go over that with the Almay Smart Shade Butter Kisses, or Butter Kiss, in the nude light to medium color. And so I still have the tag on here. I don't know why I put the tag back on after I used it, but that's what it looks like. And I just got this recently from Target, so I'll do a little swatch here. And it's a little bit on the berry side, even though this is the nude shade for light to medium skin tones. I'm going to apply a little bit of that over this. And there you have it. That is the completed look. If you wanted to, you can definitely do a nude lip with this. You can add some thicker liner. You can do some false eyelashes, but I didn't really want to mess with any of that today just because I wanted to keep it fairly easy and just super, super simple. So I hope you guys liked the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I appreciate your support, and thank you so much for being here with me today. And don't forget that you can always connect with me if you'd like on Twitter and Instagram. It's @GlamourByLexi. It's always somewhere on the screen, either at the bottom or on the sides towards the end of the video. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you guys again, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.